Podfix.
Cold nuts.
Vodka.
Snowpiercer.
Why do we eat cold nuts? What are we running from? Where did we go? That's my inner Billie Eilish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sitting on the bench. Writing's really hard. We need another snack. And that is just a fact. Oh.
Hi, this is Shauna.
This is Trisha.
This is Two Girls on a Bench.
They do exist.
We're still here.
We still exist.
The podcast. We haven't recorded in a while, but we have recorded.
And it's all coming out at the same time.
You will have an embarrassment of riches.
Why
All
are
at
they
once.
embarrassed?
I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
An
Kind of a weird-
embarrassment?
Isn't that? It's a saying though. An embarrassment of riches.
I've
I don't.
never heard that before.
It's totally a thing.
I think it's
Everybody's
an
like,
embellishment of riches.
no, it's an. Oh, this is gonna be like that Sneaky
Is it
Pete thing where
Shakespearean?
like I'm wrong.
All
Did
right.
we do this on the show, or did we just do
the
it like?
Sneaky Pete thing?
Yeah,
No,
or
I
did we
looked it
just-
up like while we were talking.
Did we just like do it in our own personal?
No, we did it
lives?
on the show, and I was like,
Oh,
it's
we
not,
did do it on the show. Okay,
It's not this, it's this, and you were like, no, it's
I said
this.
Sneaky Peek. And
You said it was a
Sneaky
Sneaky
Pete.
Peek,
Okay, never mind.
and it was Sneaky Pete.
You were correct.
Yep.
Okay, but we did it on the show.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a conversation we had like in your kitchen.
I'm
okay.
looking this embarrassment of
It's like an
riches.
embarrassment of riches. No?
I
An
don't know.
embellishment of riches doesn't even make
Oh.
any sense.
Okay, an embarrassment of riches is an idiom that means an overabundance of something or too much of a good thing.
See?
Originated in 1738.
Yep.
Okay,
Because I get all my sayings
It's
from
a
the
French play.
1700s.
it's a French play which like feeds into the whole theater background and writing shit.
It's just like part of
It-
me.
it's called
you know? I'm
The
just
Embarrassment
cool
of
like that.
Riches. There's a play called that.
We're doing that. That'll be available on iTunes
Wait,
6 years from now.
here's an example. All 4 of them have their own cars, but there's no room in the driveway. An embarrassment of riches.
See?
Yep.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
So they're going to get all the episodes, and it's going to be an embarrassment of riches.
Because we'll have 3 episodes to listen to.
Hey, that's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
when a lot of the
Take it or
podcasts
leave it.
that I listen to, I'm literally like week to week on them, like paycheck to
Yeah.
paycheck. Where I'm just like, I can't. I'm like, God damn it, there's not a new Red Handed. You
I
know what I
feel
mean?
like
And I'm
I
like
saw it.
waiting, and it's like Thursday, and I'm like, comes out on
I
Thursday.
didn't read it, but I feel like our Benchley and Brett Jordan reached out like, are you okay?
Yeah, because we haven't. Okay, so here's what happened, everybody. We did
you
did
need-
record.
Are you alive?
We did record, but then just didn't get it out.
It's my fault. I'm the get it out girl.
I feel bad. I don't want to throw you under the bus because I can't do anything to make that happen for you.
I am under the bus. It's okay. I live under the bus.
Aw, the bus is dragging you.
The bus is dragging me down the street. And
Let's
I'm
just
like,
say that
"Yay."
2021, it was like, it's going to be so great. And then it was just like 2020.
Let me just
except
ask you something.
new year.
And I just need you to be honest.
Who are you asking?
You.
Oh. You were talking to the listeners
Just
at large.
all
I don't know.
of you. No. Did you ever think when everybody was like, 2021, yay, new year, yay, it's going to be amazing. In the back of your head, were you ever like, it's not over yet, fuckers?
I mean, kind of, but it's also like, and I'm not a very optimistic person,
You're not.
as we know, but I want to be, especially in scenarios like this where it just sucks and you're like, please, like it's going to be different, but it's not different. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's where all the like, wah, wah, comes from.
Yep.
I wanted it to feel different, and then it was just like,
I didn't say it out loud, but I had this weird feeling that nothing was going to change. And then
I
things
think
are
we all knew it wasn't going to, but you just like, it's like the projection of like, well, this year will be different.
Better.
Well, it is. I mean, people are getting vaccines.
I mean,
and
that's great.
stuff's happening, but it still feels like kind of annoying.
there's going to be an at-home test.
Okay.
Yeah. COVID test.
I mean, like, all right.
That's fun.
I'm okay with. Do I need it? I don't go anywhere.
I don't know. You
don't
like
do
shave your
anything.
legs, take a COVID test, start your day. I don't know.
Start your day.
Whatever.
Drive through. Yeah, I mean it's fine. I just like. Okay.
I don't think you
got
have to
that
like
weird tired thing.
you have to like mail in the COVID test and like 4 months later you get your results. I'm just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, and then you're like, I've already been a super spreader myself.
Shouldn't have gone to Coachella.
Decided to just go on a rampage at Target with no mask, or I don't know what you would do to. Sorry, that's like so weird. I would never do that. I just order Target, get delivered now. I don't even go there anymore. It's making me a hermit, and I'm not a hermit.
I miss Home Goods.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I just miss like
I miss Joann's.
I miss going to
I
work.
want to walk around crafts.
Which is sad.
I know. I miss going to the office and having like a lot of stuff to do and people talking to me for too long and then thinking to myself, I'm never going to get this stuff done. I wish they would go away.
But then when you're at home, it's just your kids.
I just wish I was there with those people again and they were talking to me and I was like, yay. I never appreciated you. But now I do.
You know what it is too in my house, because we have so many dogs now? It's like I have this thing where I don't want to leave the second floor of my house because that's where my room is.
There's so many dogs.
I just don't want to go downstairs.
You have 3 dogs.
I have
Shauna.
a teapot in my room now, like a plug-in one. I take mugs up and just like
You have a little teapot, short and
so that I'm like, well, if I need some tea in the afternoon, I don't have to go downstairs and fight the dogs. This is literally my life right now.
The other day, because we just have the one dog, and my daughter was like,
she's a lot though.
Yeah, we're going to get another dog eventually, right, Mom? Because that was like my big plan. And I turned to her, like, it was like in slow motion, though, the way I turned to her, like in my head. And I was like, we're never getting another dog. And she just like bursted in tears.
Oh, you know what's
because she's so sweet. And I was like,
I mean, your daughter's
it's
really
okay.
Sweet. I know. You know what though?
Mommy's an asshole.
I had a dream that you guys. Okay, I just remember this right now, which is so weird. I had a dream that you guys got twin dogs.
What?
Like little ones.
I mean, aren't all puppies twins?
I don't know, but it was like a thing.
There's usually like
twin dogs.
7 puppies out of 1 dog.
Well, maybe there was just 2. I don't know, or they look a lot alike. It was a dream, Trisha. I can't rationalize this part of the story. So twin dogs, and then I was like, "What about Clover?" And you're like, "We had to like, give Clover away or something. Like something happened." Yeah.
There have been days.
It was rough. I was
where I've walked out and been like, if you leave, I'm not letting you back in. And then there's the days where like one night I wasn't feeling good and I went and laid down. And the next thing I know, the dog's laying next to me in a ball.
They're so good.
And I'm just like, oh, you love me.
Yeah, no, they love us. Like we can't
You
even
really,
imagine.
really love me. Why are you... Like, she destroyed a couple pairs of socks I have, like, that are new.
Alola has, like, destroyed... I feel like we're constantly buying things that she's destroyed. Like, we're like, well, guess those chanclos are gone, or Edgar's headphone...
Or
things.
earbuds. Oh, yeah, headphones.
You know the, like, cushy part of
yeah.
the headphones?
Oh, no,
she's had to replace those twice. Also,
Glasses.
you should stop leaving them, like, in places where she can
Nothing...
get them.
The remote... Nothing that's allowed in a low area.
You guys, is this your problem? Let us know. Tell us on social media, and we may or may not check it.
Are you sick of hearing us say it's our problem? Let us know.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay,
let's
bye.
Wait, you have a quote first?
I did, but like, here's the thing: because
like 2
we're
hours
so
went by.
Sporadic with our programming lately that I don't know if I've done it. Although I feel like I always have that problem, so never mind.
This is a message from Podfix. 2 girls on a bench love sporadic programming.
Are not dead. I think this is interesting, and it feels like it's like a poem or something. I don't know. This is from Lewis Carroll. When you are describing a shape or sound or tint, don't state the matter plainly, but put it in a hint, and learn to look at all things with a sort of mental squint. It's pretty good, right?
I like it.
Lewis Carroll.
Dude,
Alice in the Looking Glass. Get your social life out, mate. You need to know what that is.
Well, we went down to the Electric Mile yesterday.
Oh my god, Trisha went to a rave with her kids in
Yeah.
a car.
It's like a rave. It's like a socially distanced rave that's family friendly, which cracked me up to no end because it's like back in the day we would pass out a flyer with a phone number and then you'd find out where the rave was. I turned to my husband and I'm like, did you ever do that like in high school or whatever? Like,
Did he?
No.
He seems like maybe he would have though.
He
More
didn't.
than us. Like, I mean, he's a
no,
little more
he
adventurous
seems
than
yeah,
we
he
were.
seems like more of a
He's
I
a
don't
little
know,
cooler than we
stoner
were.
dude. But no, he didn't. And I was like, I never, ever did this. And I probably lived in an area, and so did you, where that was happening a lot. We just weren't in that crowd. So it was all starting in the
Wasn't
90s.
it kind of like when we were like already in college?
It
though?
was like into the 90s. So we graduated high school in 92. So yeah, it was just
like ramping
kicking
up.
off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you had to be really in the know in high school,
we
I
didn't.
guess.
We didn't know anything.
We still didn't know out here even.
We're not
so
in the know.
We're still not in the know.
We're unknown.
But you drive through like all these worlds, and one world was Alice in Wonderland. It was super cool. It was beautiful. It was fun. It was the best $125 I've ever spent in my life. It was something to do with my family.
You know that, and that's why it was the best
In
money
the car,
because there's
socially
nothing
distanced.
to do.
Well, my daughter was like, "That's expensive," and I'm like, "Sweetheart, that's what it costs to go to one movie with our family,
Right? I know.
Maybe
get, like,
more.
popcorn.
Yeah,
and, like, whatever.
If mommy gets wine, it costs more." So,
Oh, remember wine at the movie theater?
right? Do you remember movie theaters?
Remember that Sinopolis place where you could like order shit and they
You can get, like,
bring it to
food
you?
and like ice cream sundaes.
That was
and-
like the best. I'd be like, can I get a like
popcorn.
Moscow Mule?
you know what? I changed my mind. I do want a large buttered popcorn, please.
Yeah, and they just bring it to you. You
It
don't have
just
to like
comes.
get up or like miss anything.
And you might be watching The Incredibles 3, but you're so happy because you're drinking wine while you're doing it.
No, I mean it's just everything. I just oh my god, you guys. Okay, anyway, this became like a sad like.
Everybody's
Moment.
like, we all know.
They're
Move
like we all miss
fucking
everything.
on.
Shut up.
all right.
Okay, goodbye. Oh wait, what are we gonna do now? Ooh, snack book.
We don't have to say.
Oh,
Gosh.
we don't. Well, why not? Why wouldn't we?
I'm
say
just
it?
kidding. We're going to do snap.
We're all
book.
surprised something's coming next.
Maybe.
If you've ever listened to the show, you probably know what it is. And if you're new to the show,
Surprise.
you're like, why are these chicks rambling about dogs and raves?
Why
and
are they fighting so much?
stupid shit no one cares about? Okay.
Goodbye.
I'm
Give me that snack book.
dying.
Alrighty. Snack book. Surprise.
So let's share with the folks at home what we have. So we're drinking vodka and sparkling water because it's like low carb. And we're just really like taking that in right now.
I'm trying not to have sugar, you guys, which
So,
is hard with like Valentine's Day.
so I brought some chocolate. We didn't talk about it, right?
I don't
I don't think we did.
think we did because you brought it last weekend and we didn't record. We just worked on our script.
So here's what happened. I did not do the after Valentine's sale, which I know that we have all like
We've
we
done
have
that for
Yeah.
It's also it
Since
was
the
our
beginning.
anniversary on the 19th. You guys, 3 years.
we're just missing every benchmark and every after Valentine's
Every
sale.
benchmark on the bench was missed.
benchmarks. Oh my god, that maybe that should be like
Right?
a new segment.
bench. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
I'm not though.
You're not.
I'm not writing it.
I'm
I don't even have
watching
a
you.
pen.
Don't lie to the listeners.
Stop lying. Stop telling them I'm lying.
So anyway, I got chocolate. So I just saw like once again I ordered Target delivery, and I just was like, "Give me a box of Godiva chocolate."
But you came in with it, right? And you're like, I have a box of Godiva. And it was right after Valentine's Day because it was like the weekend after. And you're like, but I didn't buy it on sale because it was like such a sin. Like we never buy full price candy, like except for our kids.
Well, especially like
For
on the Valentine's
ourselves,
thing. It
we
was like our
always
thing.
buy it the day after Valentine's or the day after. And sometimes you scored Godiva or
Right.
Lindt.
Lindt is good too.
So yeah,
Lindt.
you were like ashamed though. You were like, I didn't buy it.
Because I was like, I can't do stuff like that anymore. Like I just don't have the
You've just
spontaneity.
Adjusted yourself to the world.
It's fine. So we had good
as
chocolate, but then now Trish is like doing this thing where she's adding sugar, which is great.
Trying, you guys.
And I just had one of the chocolates by myself right now. But she brought in a snack for us besides the vodka, which is low carb.
no carbs.
No carbs. Just
Zero.
kidding. And we drink it with sparkling water, so there's nothing bad in
Nothing.
this drink. We could probably drink it all day. I'm just kidding.
Could
Sounds
drink
terrible.
it all day.
All right. So tell us about the snack today, Trisha, because you put it together and it's lovely.
It's cold nuts. Just to be frank. I don't know who that is. So I freeze my nuts.
We're so dumb. We're like, this is when we're like junior high boys again. We're like, cold nuts. Cold nuts.
So I always buy like the Costco bag of pecans around the holidays because I'm gonna make like a bunch of cookies that like take nuts and so or
Delicious.
breads or whatever.
Pistachio.
And I learned a long time ago. I don't know where from.
Are there pistachios in here?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I learned there's
Hmm.
it keeps your nuts more fresh. I'm gonna laugh every time I say nuts.
Frozen
I
nuts.
am a 6th grade boy.
D's frozen nuts.
So it keeps them fresh longer if you put them in the freezer. So when I buy the Costco sized bag of nuts, it's like that's a lot of pecans, right?
I actually did know that, but I just
So-
like haven't done it.
So I keep them in the freezer. So I don't remember when this happened, but I wanted some pecans one night and I ate a couple of the frozen nuts from
They
the
taste
freezer.
good when they're cold.
They don't freeze like how you think something freezes like an ice cube. So they just get really crispy and cold.
They're
And
delicious.
it satisfies that munchiness in you. So I found a heart healthy, no salt, just like not even roasted, just plain nuts. It's like macadamia nuts.
Oh, are these macadamias or
Wait,
hazelnuts?
they're hazelnuts. You're
Oh,
right.
I can never tell. They kind of
No,
look the same.
they're hazelnuts, they're almonds, there's pistachios, and there's walnuts. And then I add in my own pecans, and then I freeze the whole thing. And then when I want a snack or I feel bingy, I just eat a bowl of nuts. And that like helps me not have like cereal or chips or crackers because it's crunchy. It's not salty.
French fries.
I mean, I could have salty nuts if I wanted to, but like these are healthier and like it's like a healthy fat and it's protein. And
I gotta tell you though, the
it's
like
really good.
frozen nut, they taste so good when they're
they're
like
so
cold.
like fresh.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then you don't miss the salt. I feel
No,
like when
you
they're
don't,
not
'Cause
frozen.
I like salt. I
I
think
love
we've said this
salty
before.
nuts. But I was trying to like be good, right? I'm trying to be heart healthy, right? So, yeah. So I just the freezing them is like my thing. I'm like so happy with myself.
So go freeze your nuts. Sorry.
It's just the best, funniest thing you
It's
can
just
say.
fun, but
I'm
it actually
sorry.
also they're really good.
They are
So,
delicious frozen.
you're
And-
gonna remember
and you don't
this.
miss the salt. Like I don't know what it is when I have
Yeah,
a
I mean, I know
when I
because
have
I
it
miss
not
salt.
frozen, when I have like them plain out of the bag, when I first bought the bag of nuts at
I
Costco,
don't do that thing where I look
I
for
was
the ones
like,
I want.
they're not that great. There's not as many pistachios. The pistachios are my
digging them out.
favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get just a whole huge bag of unsalted pistachios because
Throw them in.
yeah, they're so good because there's not the most.
And they're grown in California.
There's all of these
Or a lot of them are.
hazelnuts and almonds, but not a ton of pistachios. So
Oh, what else is really good for you is walnuts. They're good for your brain.
they're shaped
apparently.
like your brain. You told me that a long time ago.
I'm gonna tell you again.
Yeah, no, I like it.
No, but they're good. I think they're good for other shit too. Like,
Well, just the healthy oils and nuts are good for your brain and good for your mood and your body functioning. Like all
they're
of
good
it.
for my skin because I look really old.
You look younger though because you've been eating my cold nuts.
Okay, good. Maybe I should just put the cold nuts under my eyes, like for my bags.
Just
my eye
like a
bags.
almond, a cold
I'm
almond.
doing it right now.
on
I wish
each
people
eye.
could see me. I'm putting.
I mean, I could take a picture, but
I'm
you would
putting a
hate it.
pecan and an almond under my eyes, and it feels really good. Okay,
You look younger already.
and now I'm gonna eat them and have
Nice.
healthy fats all over me. Sorry.
No, but it's good. It really is good, and it's helped me not munch on things that are not good for me. So, did I talk about before my foot how my heart thing I did, right?
You talked about your foot. I don't know what we talked about. It was so long ago. I don't remember.
Well, because we're of a certain age, so I had to have an EKG before my foot surgery. I don't know if I did, but I had to get an extensive test, stress test on my heart, because they kept saying, "Have you had a heart attack?" And I'm like, "No, but I am now." And
Aw.
it turned out I was totally fine.
Yeah, that
Everything's
was
fine.
weird when they made a big deal about that. And then we went to like do your surgery, and you're like, you kept telling me you're gonna die, and I was like, shut up. And then I was like,
I
worried.
was just worried. So, that kind of prompted me to like make some better choices.
And thus the cold nuts.
Yes.
If you're looking to make a change,
Try some cold nuts.
have some cold nuts and vodka and see what you think. Cold vodka too, preferably with some ice.
I
or
know,
something.
like freezered vodka is probably the best vodka.
You know what I always wanted to do, and nothing exists anymore. Maybe you could still do it because it's cold, but there was like this period of time where like it was popular to do these like you go into this like bar. It's kind of like a luxury thing.
Freeze off your fat.
No, you go
Oh.
in it. No, it's nothing to do with this.
Oxygen
This is
bar?
a vodka story.
Oh.
So you go.
I'm gonna keep guessing.
I know. I'm all,
Dry bar.
I'm just gonna like
Nut bar. Sorry.
dry bar. You would get your hair blown out and have a
And
glass of
have
wine.
some nuts. Wait,
Oh.
what?
There was no food. They always have these weird cookies at the front. Anyway, I don't do dry bar anymore either. I don't do anything fun anymore. Okay.
Like a dry biscotti in the dry bar. Just kidding. Sorry.
No.
Those Oreos that are called like Hydro cookies, but they're not really like a brand or.
Oh,
Okay.
hydro cookies. Shut up. Okay, so I'm like, well, you're just making things up now. I don't even know what you're talking
It's
about.
possible.
All right. So, okay, it was like a trend for like 5 minutes where you would go into these like sort of like a freezer to drink vodka, and when you would go in, you would put like a fur coat on. It was like this weird trend. This is probably like way long ago. Like somebody might remember watching this on TV or something, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to go drink cold vodka in a weird freezer and put a fur coat on. Like, why not?
I have one thing to say.
Have you seen this?
Tell me in your best Russian accent
No.
what you would say in that scenario. Please.
I would say more vodka.
Yes, that was
That's all I
amazing.
need to say,
That
really.
was incredible.
How fun would that be? It
Was
was like
it-
a thing. It was like not like an ice cave, but it was like
You put on a fur coat.
No,
though?
seriously.
I love that.
it was like this
like a
weird.
muff.
Yeah, you're like I'm gonna go because it was like Sub-Zero or something. Like I don't
And then
know.
it was like probably like so crisp
Yeah.
tasting.
It was like
'cause
very
vodka's, like,
pure,
so
good vodka.
clean.
You just
yeah.
were drinking it straight. You weren't like mixing it like we
No.
do.
Yeah.
It sounded so fun.
Sounds
That's not a
awesome.
thing anymore.
Was it in Russia or was
no,
it
I think it was like here. I don't know.
in California?
I don't remember now. I'm gonna have to look it up, and that'll be my goal for quarantine ending is that I get to go to the cold vodka place. But then I'm kind of like, well, things die in like cold temperatures, so maybe we could still do it.
I mean, it sounds like a situation where you would have like a scarf around your mouth, so that's kind of like a mask.
How would you have a scarf around your mouth if you're drinking vodka though?
You would take a shot real quick and then put the scarf back
Turn
up.
away
Yeah.
from all the other.
Just drink your vodka socially distanced, Shauna.
All right.
Why you gotta be
With a
in my
fur coat.
face with your face?
Have you watched Snowpiercer? Did I mention this last time?
No.
Oh, have you seen it?
No.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Is it a movie? What is it?
It was a movie,
Oh.
but the movie's not great. Or actually, I have no idea because I haven't seen the
Is
movie.
it a movie where like
No, it's a TV show.
Rocky like climbs a hill with the
No,
rock?
that's
Or...
the Rocky number 4.
Or
It's
is that
my
like
favorite Rocky, but that's not
Ice
what we're talking
Pick
about.
Man, or I'm
No.
thinking of something else. Dwayne Johnson's in it.
No. You know who's in it? You're going to eat your words right now. You know who's in it? Because you're going to get all like googly about it.
I'm so excited. Like, what?
Is this one actor that was in Hamilton? He was like, see, I don't know his name or anything about Hamilton.
Thanks. So excited now.
And this guy that was in Lord of the Rings, who I also don't know what character he played. And Jennifer Connelly, who you will have seen around.
Labyrinth.
There you go. Oh, look at you. Ooh, good job, Trisha.
I know, right?
So
I could have been like Friends. And
it's
you're like,
actually
no.
like such an interesting concept. So it's like this train in the future where the world is like frozen. It's like sub 100 degrees or whatever. Everything's frozen over.
I'm here for this.
And they're already, and they just like circle the world literally on this track. And there are like 1,000 cars. And it's so cool, like writing wise, because at the beginning of every episode, a different character is like, you know, this happened and that had like a little voiceover, like this happened and that
cool.
happened. And here we are, 1,004 cars. They always end it with that, like 1,300 cars or whatever, like
I love
the
it.
train cars. It's good. You will like it. It's
I
on
am
TNT.
So excited. I don't have that channel.
I don't know how you'll get it. Oh, you know what? It's on HBO. Do you have HBO?
Yes, I do.
You can watch the first season on there. That's how I did it.
Yay.
Everybody, get on board. The
I'm
train.
so excited.
I didn't even plan that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
That was
Thanks, everybody. That was my
TV
big.
corner.
That was my big sharing with you all because I gotta tell you, it's an original idea and it's really hard to find that anymore. I feel
Yeah.
like so. It's like I'm like this. It like. You know, fills my void of needing like something sort of like futuristic or like sci-fi, but then it's got this weird grounded like human almost political element because it's like the poor people and it's like first class, second class, and
Okay,
like
it
you know,
sounds like, have you heard of the show The Expanse?
yeah, I can't get into it.
Oh, because that is all
'Cause
about
Ira
classes
watches
as
that
well.
one.
Oh no, because like, you know, we've
Wait.
expanded from the Earth to Mars.
Oh yeah,
and
I've watched
to
some of it, but
the
then I
belt,
just like
and like there's the people who are
got
like
tired of
mining
it.
the belt are like they're like
I did watch it.
their bodies have adjusted to the lack of gravity, the zero gravity, so they're like
Is that the one with the guy's
look
wearing like a
different.
weird hat?
yeah,
he's
he's like
like
a
a detective?
detective. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the guy that was in. He's been in a ton of stuff, but
The
he was in,
Hamilton guy's a detective too, or like a cop, former cop.
no. But I love those situations where it's almost like I can't think of the person who wrote Wicked. Everybody's screaming right now because of course everybody knows. But like the book Wicked is very political about
Shit,
how
I cannot remember that
Oz
guy's name.
was, you know, separated into classes and the whole situation there.
And the
So
animals too.
yeah, no. So I feel like that's maybe where minds are going for different worlds, air quote, to create for us to get into.
It was
you
like
know?
Raised by Wolves. Okay,
Yeah.
we're getting way deep
Oh,
into this, you guys.
it's
But
gonna
like,
keep going. All right,
okay, bye. Oh wait, we're gonna talk about writing.
writing.
What? 30 minutes in? Okay.
Do you like comedy? Do you like animals? What about science? Do you dig plants? What about writing, snacks, rambling, and rants? Filmmaking, improv, and interviews? Canadians, Australians, voting forecasts, and soup reviews? Perfectly baked packages popping up, podcasts pointing people to discover other podcasts? Check out the Podfix Network, podfixnetwork.com. Plus, check out Podfix Presents, wherever fine podcasts are found. The Podfix Network, artist-owned and loved.
Write it, bitch. I don't know where I am or what's happening.
Oh, wait, don't rub your eyes. You have contacts on, dummy. I hardly ever wear them. Why did I do that? Oh, they didn't move.
Because you're an asshole. Just kidding.
My face is hot from too much cold vodka and cold nuts.
It's making your face hot.
It's just drinking. Like I
Do
probably
you want to
shouldn't
put some
drink
cold
anymore.
almonds on your face?
on my cheeks.
Just stick this bowl of nuts on your
Just
face.
feels so like. Do you
Put
see
your-
I'm like I got like a little
Shauna.
rosy.
Rub your nuts. Rub.
I know what you're rub nuts on my face. I know what you're gonna say.
it came out like rub your nuts on my face.
I was like, I don't have that. Ah,
I have a lot of nuts right
this
here.
is like a happy moment, you guys, because we have not been able to do this for a while. Well, we did it, but then it just didn't really get to you.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Did you put both of them out or just one of them out?
I'll put the other one out. I'll put the other one out tomorrow. I put one out today. I put one out tomorrow, and this one out the next day.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, are you sure? Because that's like fast.
No, I'm doing it,
Do it.
bitch.
We'll make this episode short. Okay, so let's talk fast. So I'm just kidding. So we're gonna talk about our screenplay that we have officially finished
Whoop,
for
whoop.
now. I guess until
For
someone
the
tells
moment.
us to change it. And we're gonna start sending it to some people. Maybe I haven't really done that yet, but
That's the next step.
I have it. I got a program
You
called
may or not be one of those people.
You Just Don't Know. Something may be arriving to you via passenger pigeon. Just kidding. Carrier pigeon. What's a passenger pigeon? Is that a thing?
Like small bugs, insects ride on a passenger pigeon. It provides safe passage.
This is like a cartoon right
Isn't
now
that
in
from
my
like
brain.
the rescuers? So they like fly around in a passenger pigeon.
I don't know. It's the weird shit's happening.
But
we didn't rewrite it. We just like made some edits to it.
we
It was
refreshed,
actually
refreshed it.
it was in really good shape. Last time I think we talked about how we had to change the references because of
We
the
did
time
that.
period.
We did, yeah.
But we actually just went through it and it was like, I mean, there's one scene in this. I hope I didn't talk about this last time. I don't think I
A
did. I
little
think I
bit, not
told
too
you
much.
last week that upon reading our script that we wrote, the characters are like super beloved to us, like all of them, honestly, all 5 of them, and then the like supporting characters too. But there's a scene that I was like so happy when I read it. It was like the happiest. Like I was like, oh, I've done one thing in
Or
my
like,
life.
I wish I wrote this kind of a moment.
Yeah, and I was like,
And
oh,
then
we
you're
did.
like, oh, we did. It was us.
And it's just
Yeah.
funny and dumb. It's not like like Sophie's Choice or something. It's not like the greatest scene in the world. It's just super funny.
Who wants to watch that all the
Nobody
time?
wants to watch Sophie's Choice. It's
Nobody.
totally depressing. But I'm just saying, like, it's not like, wow, this was like a really like strong. It's just funny, and to me, that's almost better because it's like something I might like quote or like sort of like Shaun of the Dead or like Clerks, which I'm like way too stupid about. But like, there's just so many. There's some good vibes in there.
I remember one time when we were working on something, and you turned to me and you said, Trisha, we're funny.
Yeah, I took you out in my backyard
Yeah.
next to my like lemon
Like you
tree.
had to like tell me. Like and,
it was
and-
after we did iSurrender2.com.
No, and it took us. We didn't know that for years.
No, that's why I was like, this is a monumental
I
moment.
really think that once we
We're
stopped
funny.
taking ourselves so seriously, that it got much funnier and like you're more able to take it in because it's much easier to relate to something told with humor
Mhm.
than it is to something like Sophie's Choice or
I mean, and there's definitely like, obviously a world and a place for drama. And, I just feel like I think at this point in my life, like I have a really hard time like watching serious
We all
stuff.
do.
Like I can't, like I don't want to do it.
Like,
I'm like,
I mean,
please give me
Zoe's
10 comedies.
Extraordinary Playlist got a little serious like the last couple episodes, which I'm glad they did and it was important. But I was like, I want to watch like
I just want it to be
I just
stupid.
want her to be dancing
Well,
around and like
I don't
be
know.
in
Her
love or
dad
not
was
in
dying
love.
though before that. That wasn't very light.
I guess my idea of light. I know, right?
You're all, it got really serious
Well,
when
it's
they
such a
started
light
talking
comedy,
about.
except the whole first season. Spoiler alert! Like, yeah, it's about her dad.
No, it's you're right. I mean, I think
But there's lighter
It's hard.
moments in it that you like relate to, and you're like, oh yeah. But then like
no.
the world.
No, it's just like I don't know, even like, sort of like I don't know what it is. It's just, and I think this has actually been going on for a while. And I just think it's because my life has been so dramatic with my kids and so ridiculous that like
Up and down, up and down.
I either it needs to be escapist, like sci-fi. You know what I mean? Like a completely ridiculous
That's why I like
situation
The
that's not
Expanse.
happening right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Yeah.
completely new world.
Or like a comedy, or like The Servant, which I love.
Yeah.
Because it's like
which
crazy.
is dark, but a whole different
but
world.
just weird. The whole time you're like, what's going
Culty.
on?
I
What's
mean,
going
we're
on?
we're into cult stuff. So,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
god! I started watching the Woody Allen documentary.
Oh no! See, I don't want to watch that.
Speaking of like
I don't want to watch that.
screenplay writers.
I did watch the Britney Spears one.
Okay, good.
I am worried for
I'm
her.
a little worried about. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Like, we're not the age to be Britney Spears fans. Just like FYI, in
No,
case you
we're-
thought we were really young, we're not.
Welcome to the party, folks.
But like when she came out, we were just like, oh, she's just like this dumb little pop singer, and like and like maybe she is, but at
Because
the
we're
same time,
the Lilith Fair Gen X generation.
oh yeah, we're like
So we're like Sarah McLachlan.
no, we're like Tori Amos.
Jagged Little Pill.
Like,
Ani DeFranco.
Let's go way into it.
Totally.
Let's go there,
We're
and then
angry,
another 2
and
miles.
then we're like
Yeah.
even worse.
Yeah, and then it's even worse than that. So then it's like a little pop star that's like dancing around in like a Catholic school uniform. We're kind of like,
We're
whatever.
like, she's like Madonna, but not as good. That's what we said.
But then
in the 90s.
you watch this like documentary about her and you're like, wow, like her whole life has been like controlled by
Yeah.
other people. And the whole thing where when she went crazy and like shaved her head and all that stuff, you're like, oh, if you
Oh,
look
I
at it
get
from
that.
like, if you look at it from like a mental health perspective though, too, you're like, not that that's necessarily the mental health part, but like just that like her thing with her kids and like
All of it.
all the people chasing her all the time and like
Even the thing with the baby in the front seat of the car, I remember thinking like, how could she? But like then I listened to her and I'm like, yeah, people were chasing me and I had a baby. I would run away
I would
any
grab my
way I
baby and
could.
put it in my lap and go.
and go and get the fuck out
She's
of
always
there.
driving her own car, which I find very interesting because I don't see a lot of celebrities drive their own car.
Oh,
They're
I
usually
just
being
don't-
driven.
That's like now, not then. Like
I don't know.
90s
She was
maybe? I
just
don't
driving
know.
her car all the time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But let me pick that point
This
and
is
talk about
the
it
car
for
share
30
podcast.
minutes. No, but anyway, it's so Britney Spears. Yeah. So anyway, back to our screenplay. I'm not sure why I got way off on that topic. I don't even know how we got there. Oh, because you were like, I saw the Britney. Because I was like, you need to watch it
I
because we
know.
need to support her.
I do.
Because I don't
here for her.
apparently, but
I'm
now
here.
I am.
Well, and poor thing, like mental health is really like wasn't really a 80s 90s thing.
No, nobody took care of anything, and now it's like front and center.
Now
But
it's
like for
like,
the
you
people that
must.
got fucked up that were then,
Yeah.
like they're screwed. Like
Yeah.
Justin Bieber's written all these songs about how like fucked up it was to be like a child star, and he
Yeah.
literally, my son who is like a sort of longtime fan of Justin Bieber, like he probably wouldn't maybe publicly admit that anymore, but like when he came out with his new song, he's like, wow, it said explicit, and his songs never say explicit.
Yeah.
Like, and he says like
Isn't it about his
it's called Lonely, and he's like, what if you had it all and no one to
do you
call?
know who produced that?
No.
Billie Eilish's brother.
Well, because they sang a song
Booyah!
together,
I know.
her and Justin. That song is sad, and he says like that's just fucking lonely, and you're like, oh, your life was like kind of like,
No, because he talks about what it
Not-
was like to be himself.
and they
at
were kind
that
of like
age.
poor. Like he lived in like the projects in Canada, whatever that equivalent is. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I know way too much about Justin Bieber. I have like the weirdest array of information
It's
available
okay.
to me.
I mean, the Billie Eilish documentary, I've watched part of it, and like all I could do when you got here was talk about how she reminds me of Poe from the 90s, like
and Fiona Apple.
and Fiona Apple slightly. And
I thought my
all
kids
these
would like
different
Fiona Apple.
people.
They didn't like it. I thought Griselda would.
Yeah,
Because I was like,
'Cause
oh,
she has a similar voice.
yeah. She didn't, but she didn't like the music.
Does she like Poe?
I don't know. I didn't play
You
Poe
should
for
play her
her.
some Poe.
But whenever I play them anything that I like, they like hate it.
Then never mind.
I mean, like
Just let
seriously.
them
One
be.
day I played like Ani DeFranco, and Alan was like, "This is horrible. Turn it off."
Okay,
Yeah.
just stop talking to your kids all together.
I'm just telling you, this is what happens to me,
saying-
and I have to listen to fucking Juice
I have
WRLD
a line, and Ani
all
DeFranco.
day long.
Ani DeFranco's my line, and he just crossed it, and he is dead to me.
Yeah, you
I'm
know
just
what
kidding.
else? Okay, let's just talk shit about my kids for 2
I'm
seconds.
just kidding.
This
I
is
love
the
them
shit talking
still.
corner.
But I will not share my opinion with them ever again.
My daughter did not want to go to school. And it's like, you haven't gone to school in like a year. Like, and she went on Thursday, and then they went in person, and then they were
Right.
going to go Friday, but she was like tired. It was just like that dumb, like tired kid thing where you're like, especially when you're a teenager and you're like, I don't want to go. I don't feel good. I think I'm sick, or just that bullshit
Shut
stuff.
up.
And I was like, you have to go. And she's like, why? What is it? Okay. My daughter is also like super ghetto fabulous, which I'm not exactly sure how she became that way considering like where we live, but whatever. Anyway, she's like, why? Like, what do I need to learn about like Martin Luther King? Like, why do I need to learn that? I know racism is bad. And I was like, you just crossed the line. Nobody's allowed to talk shit about Dr. King, especially you.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and then I shot her. I'm just kidding. I don't remember what happened after. Sorry, that's a line from St. Elmo's Fire.
I know. It just surprised me.
No, and then I, gave her
And
some,
you're like, go to school,
gave
bitch.
her some like, nothing and sent her to school. I don't know. She still
Here's an
went.
interesting issue. Well, it's not an issue, but interesting. At homeschooled, 90% of their schooling my kids have. My daughter's doing she volunteered to do an extra project for Women's History Day, which her teacher was like so proud of her.
It's her story.
And it's like
starts tomorrow.
so sweet, and she's gonna do it. She get to pick who she wants to be, and because she saw all my books, she picked Maya Angelou. She was on the list of choices.
Oh, nice.
And her teacher's like, so now you work on your script and you work on your this, and it's like a video thing. And she's like, and pick out your costume. And I'm like, how do I dress my 10-year-old up like Maya Angelou?
You don't. You know what you do? Like what? Why do they have to make it like that?
I don't know. I
I
wish
hate
they
like
wouldn't.
how linear school is sometimes.
Why
where
can't
you're like,
it just be like you're gonna read her poems or write a poem of your own inspired by Maya
oh my
Angelou?
god, or
That'd
like
be
we
so much
did
better.
perform. Life
A
doesn't
play.
frighten me at all.
I know. No, I know.
That's what we did, you guys.
So
we performed that book. Life
I
doesn't
love
frighten
Maya
me
Angelou.
at all.
At all. Not at all.
Life doesn't frighten me at all. Yeah,
Not
we
at
said it like that. We said it back and forth like that was great.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Women's arts program.
Herstory. So yeah, I'm like, why is it gotta be phrased like so 1980s? Like you don't dress up
Yeah, dress up like you
like
know
so and so. Like
Alexander
if I'm-
Hamilton.
if
That
you're
looks
like-
different now.
I
but-
mean, if you are, fucking my kid and gonna be Amelia Earhart, I can put some like aviator glasses and a jacket on you and like
Right.
make it work. But I can't make it so when people look at you, they see Maya Angelou ever. You know what I
no,
mean?
and also like, why does that need to be there?
I don't
like,
know.
I don't know why that needs to be there.
I was like, well, maybe we'll do some sort of like awesome 70s like outfit. Like
I just
don't
feel
know,
like whenever I saw
beat
Maya
poetry.
Angelou, she was like,
She's just normal.
she just looks like a normal woman. I mean, she's passed away. God bless her.
but she just looks like
she
a
just
normal
was dressed
lady.
like a normal person. Like there wasn't
Like she
anything.
dressed like my grandma going to work.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
I'm like, she wasn't like
so there's
wearing
nothing
some
I
crazy
can do
outfit.
for my kid who wants to find a costume, air quote.
What if you? Okay, what if instead of that?
I love this. Let's work this out right
This is
now.
the worst idea I've ever had, or the best one. I'm not sure. What if you put her
Careful.
in a cage?
Oh God! Like why the caged bird sings?
And then she's like a bird. I'm just kidding.
Not okay.
Come on, that is such a good idea. It's so like avant-garde.
It won't work.
She's in a cage and she's the bird and she knows why the caged bird sings. And she's the caged bird because that's what Maya Angelou was like. If you really want to dress up like Maya Angelou, you dress up like the caged bird.
How will that read on Zoom?
I don't know. It's such a weird idea. I'm just saying. I fixed it though for everyone.
Totally.
For everyone's daughter that needs to do this. Or son.
I'm so proud she picked her, but I'm kind of like, I'm gonna ask the teacher if instead of like trying to be her, we could try and
Get a
honor
cage.
her.
Or she can just put a cage next to her.
She'll be like, "Why do you have a cage?
Why are there so many
Why do you
cages?
have a cage that's large enough for your 10-year-old in your house, Trisha? And should we send
Child
CPS
protective.
over for a visit during COVID times?"
You're like,
she's like, "You've taken it too far."
You're like, it was my friend's idea. I'm so sorry.
I'm like-
in a weak moment, I had no more creative energy to come up with shit that you guys make me do for my kids' school. Like one day, Trish was like, I have to build a kite and fly it. And I was like, what? And then you're like, I have to build a,
We just
women's.
said Mae Jemison for
Yeah.
Black History
Yeah,
Month.
you had to build a thing. And I'm like, why are you doing all this stuff? It's so annoying.
It's okay. My daughter learned how to use a glue gun, so now she's heavy into her glue gun.
You are so positive.
Trying
You're
to
such a
be-
nice person.
I'm amazing.
I hate everyone. I'm just gonna put everybody in a cage. But I have a good analogy.
Okay, here's a funny story. Logan,
is it?
kindergarten he has to do these videos sometimes when they're working on a certain letter, and he had the letter H, and he had to say 4 things about something that starts with the letter H. That's like a secret, like it's red, it pumps your blood, it's part of
Oh.
your circulatory system. It's a heart,
Does
right?
he say circulatory system
No, I
in
just-
kindergarten?
no.
Oh, I was like, wow, they're like way beyond.
He did say it pumps your blood, but anyways,
That's pretty good.
I spent a large majority of that afternoon convincing him to use Walking Head as his letter H because it's a head on a stick. And
Did he not
I
do it?
failed. Me and Lacey
Oh.
were so into it.
Head, horn. There's like 10 things here that have like an H in them.
I know.
Just sitting right at our fingertips.
He was like not into. He wanted to use this little heart from like our KiwiCo. It's like a little felt heart that we made with eyeballs. It looks like a actual heart, not like
Okay.
a heart, but like a
like a human
muscular
heart.
Yeah. Sorry.
Trisha was just
I'm
showing
doing
me
so many hand motions.
like a Valentine's Day heart with her hands, but nobody can see that, and so nobody knew that you did
Anyways,
that.
but he didn't use Walking Head, and I was really disappointed in him. And I told him when he gets to W, he better.
I'm really disappointed in you
I'm really
because you didn't pick
My
Christopher
son,
Walken Head for
on
your
your-
project.
at home homework time with me. You didn't do what I wanted, and so therefore I am
Now
sad
everything
about
sucks.
everything that you do. And then he cried. I'm just kidding. I didn't say that.
He wouldn't. He'd be like, "Shut up," or he wouldn't say "shut up."
No.
He'd be like,
He'd be like,
"I'm gonna
"Mom,
do this." Yeah, because
He
he's
was
like,
just like,
very forthright.
I like this one."
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, "You pick what you like, because I'm a good person."
Even
And
though you
it's
just talked smack about it on the
So
podcast.
boring to be a good person.
It's kind of boring, and also like, who cares? I was just reading all this stuff about Capricorns, like just to reinforce myself, so I didn't feel like a lonely island, which I often do. And thankfully, Logan's a Capricorn.
He
so
is.
He reinforces
He
that
knows
for me.
What he wants, and when the idea doesn't suit him, he says no, and that's why we work well together as writers. Because when I say something that's dumb, you're like, no, and then
Oh wait, should we talk about the thing where it was like this whole analogy thing we were talking about before? Where you're like,
I'm like super lost on what that is.
oh my
right
god.
now.
Okay, so before we got on, we were talking about something, and I was like, "Oh, my daughter did this," and Trish was like, "Well, I know what that means because it's like if you do this and you do this and you do this," and I
Yeah.
was like, "I never do that." we were like, "Yeah,
That's like an attitude thing where it's like, all right, so you're a teenager and you're with your friends, and then you feel slighted that they're not paying attention to you, or they're have a
Leaving
secret
you
joke and
out.
they're leaving you out. So then instead of asking for them to be nice to you or somehow talking about it or just ignoring it and moving on, you get upset and blow up the whole day. You're like, you like ruin it for yourself
that's literally my
and for
daughter's
everybody else.
MO. Like blow up the day. Like I should just get her shirt
Yeah.
that says that.
So you told me that, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally remember blowing up days. Like when I was so unable to see, despite of my own feelings about something, that everything was fine, and that people weren't talking about me or weren't ignoring me or weren't leaving me out. I would blow it up, make it about me, and like, there you go, end of story. And then Shauna was like, I don't know. Is that a Sagittarius thing or what? Like, because I'm a Capricorn and like my husband's a Sagittarius. And I'm like,
no,
no.
my husband's a Gemini.
Gemini. Oh, sorry. Yeah, May.
My son's a Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. And she was like, he's not like that. And I'm like, it's not a sign thing. It's just a way of life. And then the other thing we do, and I bet your daughter will start doing this too with this situation, is the whole like kind of playing the martyr, right? Like instead of asking my husband to hang his coat up, I'll be like, Logan, show daddy how we hang our coat up.
Or I guess I'll pick up the
Yeah.
coat.
Yeah, I guess I'll put it away because
feel like
I
I
put
can-
everything away.
I can like channel it, but like I don't do it because I just get so annoyed that I'm like, pick that up. Like
Well,
I can't even like hint at it.
and
I
then
just
the
am very
emotional
direct.
part of it is like after you do that and you're like a passive aggressive. That's what it is.
Yeah.
After you do that, then I did this like physically for Shauna. It's like I'll be like, I guess I'll pick it up because I always do everything, and then I run out of the room in shame and hide because I'm embarrassed that I was
I wish
passive aggressive.
I had a video of that. It was so funny. I was like, what
But
are
that's
you doing right now?
I'll be like strong enough to be passive aggressive, but then I'm like I'm like.
Have to be passive aggressive. I'm sorry. That's just hilarious.
Which is to me standing my ground somehow, and then I'm a wimp about it though because I'm like the nice girl.
You're
the
not
good
really
girl.
willing to like.
I'm not
go for
willing to
it.
take the consequences, so I will run away.
Yeah,
So I'm like a passive aggressive runner.
that's good.
But yeah, emotions, guys, right?
I mean, this is what makes us all good writers. Is that let's just bring it back full circle to what was this podcast about?
Writing.
No, I mean it's true though because I think we've self-analyzed a lot, and you kind of need to though because you like when you're writing characters, you're sort of like infusing these flaws or these
You're always writing
positive
what you know.
things.
You're
Yeah.
always pulling that shit in.
because there's things in that when I read our screenplays, speaking of back to that, like there's moments in it where I'm like, oh, we were just like this when
Yeah.
we were this age.
Yeah.
And some of the things like I'm still like that. You
No,
know what I mean?
that's-
Where there's moments where it's like, well, it's either this or this, that is that. Like starve or feed or whatever.
Yeah.
Like one of the lines is like, you know, eat or starve. And I was like, oh, I'm still a little bit like that. Like that didn't actually
That's
go
kind of
away.
what makes characters more real because we're writing from our own experience, but you relate to that in characters you love.
Yeah.
You see something in them, whether they're like you or not, that would be like you. And it only has to be one part. I've watched characters that I love in other things that are only one part of who I am.
Right.
And I love them still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I am neither a coder or a technical math computer nerd. I love her still. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
something in her that I love. She's indecisive as fuck. And
Yeah.
like, that's annoying. And I'm totally like that. You know, like, that's like one little thing about her that like, it's not really likable.
Yeah.
As an audience member, you're like, pick a dude, right?
Yeah, pick a
Like,
guy. Like, get over yourself. Yeah.
So, anyways, not to talk about that all the time.
It's apparently Trisha's favorite show.
Sometimes it is because there's dancing, you guys. Okay? And singing.
I like. Yeah, I was gonna start talking about that, but I'm gonna skip it.
Let's move on.
All right. The nuts are now warm.
Shauna.
Not warm, but just like room temperature.
Room temperature
Because
nuts.
I just like grabbed a couple and I
And
was
it's, like, not as
"Oh,
good."
It's not as like fresh and snappy as it was
There's-
when they were cold and frozen.
You can toss them back in the freezer.
Thank God, because I don't want you to waste all these nuts.
I don't want to waste these warm nuts.
Wasted nuts. Don't waste the nuts.
Maybe this episode should be called something nuts.
Cold nuts.
Cold nuts.
All right, everybody. I have like lots more I could say, but not about anything that's important.
Probably time to go. I mean, what's your
I can-
favorite snack?
I can keep talking for about 7 more hours.
What
into
are
my
you
sleepy
not
time.
eating right now?
Oh, yeah. Are you doing any weird diets or any weird non-diets where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to eat like ice cream every day, or like what are you doing?
And how are your emotions?
And how does that relate to your writing?
affecting all of the people around you.
And how does that connect
Because you're
you to the
trapped with
world?
them in your house. And this has been question portion of the
Maybe
bench.
that should be a new segment. We'll be like, okay, because we did have a show where we did this.
We did.
where people walked around and said, like, why do I lose one sock in the dryer? Like, literally, the people, the actors just walked around and said these things. And they were like, why is
That's
blah,
like
blah,
Trisha
blah?
and Shauna's stream of
And then one
consciousness.
person was like, why can't I save baby seals? Like, it just got, like, really fun. I don't remember what all the questions were. Those are the only two I can think of right now. I can't think of any more.
That was during the Kick It Sometimes, like, there was I thought that it was, like, okay, never mind.
No, that Kick It was just, like, its own thing.
No, but I thought there was a point where people were asking their, like, big questions about their lives. Like, that was
like,
the
it
whole,
led
like,
into
led
it?
into it. Because there was, like, weird wind chimey things. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
I
But
could
it
be
wasn't
wrong.
part of it, but it led into it.
You're like, no. I'm like, no, it wasn't the same scene, Shauna.
Well, that's what they were saying.
Stop
and I was like,
fighting with me on the
"What?"
podcast.
Once again, we bring it and we keep it real, and you guys like that.
This is a podcast about friendship. And this is the real shit, dudes.
When
All
you
right.
have a real friend,
They tell you when they don't like you.
I always like you. I
They
just tell you when you're wrong.
stupid. When you're wrong.
I just tell you
They
when you're
tell
wrong.
when you're
What's wrong with that?
Oh,
You would tell me,
man.
but then you'd run to the other
I
room.
would have to hide under the desk. It'd be like, Shauna, guess what? You're wrong. And then I would have to run away and cry alone with my cold nuts, now warm. That stands true. I think that works.
God, that's the funniest thing ever.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're back. We promise.
Yes.
Maybe.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
No,
I
no, no.
shouldn't promise.
I promise too.
It sucks because Trisha has to do the editing, and I'm like, I don't want to push her because she's like
You know what?
been doing a lot of shit. Like, work's been hard. Her kids are they opened a business. Whatever. She's been very busy, and like I was like, should I just like bring your kids McDonald's and like sit with them?
Shauna's,
and then I
like,
almost
super
did,
nice.
but then I didn't because then she told me not to.
We're getting to the point where my husband might be around more instead of being gone 15 hours a day. So that's a relief.
Well, and what
been
kept
a big
you from
part of it.
Yeah, that's what kept you from having
Is
time
that
to edit. 'Cause
I'm
it's like,
I'm working full time. I'm teaching my kids 5th grade and kindergarten. And then I'm also
Hello.
here. I'm also slightly lazy on top of it. So
no, you're not lazy. That's why I said, and you're like, I'm lazy, and I'm like, you were not. Like when I think of you, like lazy's never a word that comes into my mind.
I get frozen like to that point where it's been so long since you finished something that you just can't finish anything.
No, I know.
anymore.
I feel like that about
Whether
like
that
a
has
lot
to do
of
with
things.
laundry or podcast, for me it stands like it's like a mental thing I have, like a block I
Well,
get.
because eventually you just are like, I don't have
It's
the
been
space
so long.
to do another
I
thing.
can't even
to get back
bother.
into it.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I get
I
it.
feel that about working out,
Yeah, me too.
you know, except my foot has been broken. So I guess I have that to like
I don't have a
air
broken
quote
foot.
fall back on.
And I also don't have that. I'm still making.
But
I'm
you've
not even
been
making
in
excuses.
you're in solidarity with me. You don't even have to make excuses to yourself
No, I
because you're
don't.
so direct.
No, I'm like, I'm not working out. I was like sitting here
You're all-
telling you, and I'm all, and I just don't care.
End of story. Yeah. And I'm like, I am riddled with guilt for all the things I'm not doing every single day. And that could be as small as like sweeping the floor or as big as like
You've always had that.
writing more scripts. I don't know.
And I'm like,
And you're like, fuck it, Trisha.
I don't do a lot of
Move
things.
on.
And I'm sad about it, but like, I don't care. Oh, that's like my kid. Like, I don't care.
I'm sad about it, but I don't care. Where'd she get Ghetto Fabulous? I don't know. Maybe from you.
No, it definitely wasn't.
Eh.
It definitely was not. If
Again,
anyone
don't even
met
have a
me,
comeback.
I'm not gonna fabulous. Okay.
Neither am I. I can't take credit. I'm not even fabulous at this point. All right.
All right,
folks.
everybody, keep writing.
Keep snacking on cold nuts.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a transmission of the Podfix Network. For more about this show and other great Podfix programs, go to podfixnetwork.com.
This is a test of the cold nut community.
That sounds weird, but I love it. Okay. I also am here for the nuts.